Hey, it's Casino Mike. Ever had dreams of moving out into the country from the city? Not me. My experiences in the outdoors, out in the wilderness, have not been that great. Yeah, there's the time that I drank foul water on a hiking trip with the Boy Scouts, and we all vomited from that. Then we had, I almost fell off a cliff. There was that. And I had a bear stand over me while I was in my sleeping bag. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the outdoors, and I'm not a big fan of living out in the country. Out in the countryside. I'll tell you, I had a friend who did that. He moved out of a city area, out into another state, into a small town out in the country. Didn't know anybody there. Wanted to start a big brick and mortar business. He was opening up a business and thought he could just do that in a place where he didn't know anybody there. Brought his wife and family. His kids would be going to school there. But people don't realize when they move into a whole new area where they don't know anybody is that everybody, no matter what their ethnicity, they're territorial. You go in there and you say, "Oh, well, now I'm part of the community." Their whole reaction is you're an outsider. They won't tell you that right out, but they'll let you know it in how they treat you. And that's what was happening to him. He lost money in that venture, going out and trying to start a business where he was trying to get customers from those local people. Those local people didn't want anything to do with him because he was an outsider. His kids, they were city kids going to a country school. Of course, the country kids are going to treat them like they're a strange type of people there. His wife would probably get along well with getting to know people there, but that didn't mean that they were going to accept him. And he eventually had to move out and move back to the city. It's a different place, different people. And his whole dream was just to go out there and to live in out in nature, have a nice, quiet place to live. And he had to move back to the city because he was a city guy. His wife was a city person. His kids were city kids. Now, if you don't have a family and you're thinking, hey, it'd be great to go out there and make a living in out this nice, quiet town. I've lived in the city all my life. I'd really like to live out there with those country people. Let me give you a little advice. If you decide, and hopefully you don't have kids, if you have kids and you've grown up in a city environment, stay there until they're adults. It's going to be difficult. Yeah, I mean, you better know somebody if you move into any of these small towns. But if you do want to move up into that situation, you have a wife or you're alone, the best thing to do is work remotely. That way, you're not going to go through all this trouble of trying to win people over. That was his problem. He was trying to win people over, and that put them off. You don't want to win people over by trying too hard. You want to go to a place like that and get them interested in you by not interacting at first. See, I'm a shy guy. I go into these places, towns like this, and you know what? I just keep to myself. And that raises their curiosity and they want to come talk to me. I'll read a book. a newspaper, anything, or even look at my phone or what have you. But, the best thing is if you're going to go to one of these places and try to live as a new neighbor is to keep somewhat to yourself. Go to a coffee shop, drink coffee, go to the local store, get what you need. Be polite to these people. Don't be arrogant. Look for their help. And then you're going to get to know them slowly over time. They'll come up to you and say, hey, my name is, there's someone there is going to want to know who you are, and then you'll get to know them. That's why working remote is you'll still be working in the city online. You'll still be working either a job or a business online. And in that way, you can adapt to that town without trying to force people to get used to you, to accept you. Because people who are forced to accept somebody usually resist. And if you go in there as an outsider and try not to be an outsider, you will remain an outsider. You want to get them interested in who you are. And the best way to do that is to lay low, get along with people, be cordial and polite. Keep the conversation to a minimum. I mean, that's how they are. They'll sit there and talk about, oh no, I had a great uncle. The big conversation for him was talking about a stroke he had. So they talk about their sickness, and one wants to, trump the other one's sickness with their sickness. That's the kind of conversation that's out there in the country. There's not a lot that goes on. Not a lot of them watch TV or even watch the news hardly. They don't watch a lot of stuff. They read the newspaper, but not that much. Pretty much their day is very slow. It's a very slow pace to be in a small country town. So if that's what you're looking forward to, which I'm not, even though I'm introverted and shy, I like a little more conversation than that, and I like a little more interaction to where I have a choice of meeting people and doing things. But if you're out in the country, that's why a lot of people that move out to these country areas from the metropolitan areas move back within 6 months to a year because they got bored. Different culture. So if you're going to move out to something like that and that's what you really want, let people get used to you and work online. That way, you won't feel like you're being chased out of town. It's Casino Mike. Good luck to you if that's what you're going to do, is be a country guy or girl.